Hi everybody, welcome to this next lesson. This lesson is about how to sing focused and how to avoid airy or breathy singing. So the question is, what is airy or breathy singing? It's quite literally when you sing and there's air escaping and it sounds like an airy, cloudy, fluffy sound. I'll give an example. I'll use the song we've been doing, Jerusalem. So if I take John saw a city that could not be hid. John saw a city, oh yes he did. That's an example of quite airy singing. So you can hear it's like a cloudy, it's not a bad sound. It sounds pretty actually, but it's very dispersed, airy sound. So that's the question, is breathy singing bad and do we need to fix it? Well, breathy singing is not a bad thing and it can actually sound quite pretty. It's common in pop, in modern music a lot, especially for female singers. It's very common. It's like an artistic effect. It's like a voice effect that adds some sort of quality to it. It sounds maybe softer. It can be used for a lot of things. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily wrong. The problem, however, is there are some factors we need to consider, some cons to airy singing. And the thing is, airy singing is usually a habit, particularly for female singers. It is a way that they've just learnt to sing and it's kind of like a bad habit and they don't know or they're not even aware that they are singing airy. That's just how they think their singing voice sounds like. So that is a bad thing. If that's the only way that you can sing, that is a bad thing because that's not like the natural, clear, untouched sound that would come from us singing, but it's kind of like an effect, like I said. So if that is the only way, or if you're not even aware of being able to sing in another way, then that is a bad thing. So let's consider some not so great factors about airy singing. One, you lose very much volume through singing airy. It's impossible to sing loud when you're having the airy singing. You also lose a lot of resonance. So when you're in the bathroom singing in the shower, and it's got good acoustics in the bathroom, you can hear like the resonance vibration. When you sing airy, you lose a lot of that resonance and vibration basically. So like a thing I do is like I'm in the bathroom, especially in a corner, and I try to project all of my sound into that corner and I hear the vibration and the resonance around me, and I usually find one note that resonates the most. Anyway, so you lose volume, you lose resonance, and logically, because your air is escaping. So what it actually is like your vocal cords are not completely together vibrating as they're meant to be apparently, but they are open and there's some air that is leaking through. So obviously you're losing air. That means you'll have to breathe more often, you'll lose your breath quicker, and you won't be able to hold as well notes. And another problem with the air passing through, it's actually passing through at high speed. It's called like turbulent flow or something like that. And that can actually irritate your vocal cords, cause strain and things like that. So actually it is not the healthiest way to sing. And in classical singing, it is not used. Like I said, it's more as like a modern vocal effect because many modern artists, especially female artists, do sing like this. Like you can think of Britney Spears, she's super airy and like, I'm going to try and imitate. But so maybe people do look up to that as singing. So that is not a bad thing, like I said. I want to establish it's not a bad thing, but we do need to learn, especially in a choir setting, we do need to learn how to sing with a focused and clear sound. So when we speak, most people that don't have that airy quality when they speak, but when they start singing, they kind of put it on without realizing it's an unconscious thing because it's like a learned behavior. So for example, when we whisper, if I'm talking like this, that's quite literally whispering is to speaking, as what airy singing is to clear singing. So when you're putting the airy sound, it's like you're whispering. So obviously you lose heaps of volume, and it's just it's a different way to sing. Many singing teachers say under no circumstances should you ever whisper because it is bad for your voice. So logically that follows that also with singing, airy singing is probably not the healthiest way to sing for your voice either. So how can we try to do a focus sound instead? I'm going to try and show like a demonstration. So I'll sing John Saw the City. I sang it already, airy. John saw a city. And I'll try to show what a clear kind of sound should sound like. John saw a city that could not be hid. John saw a city, oh yes he did. I kind of lost the airy quality there. I'm just trying to sing it straight. So I'll show an example kind of with my hands. If I take a ja, this is a very airy, dispersed sound. The wider my hands are, it's kind of like the more dispersed, the more unfocused it is. Ja. You can hear, if I go too much, I go into the obnoxious, like opera singer vibrato, like ah. Obviously, we're not trying to do that either. You kind of find the place in between. This is a pretty good focus sound. Try it with your own hands. Basically, you're trying to put the sound in a little space, focus it into one space rather than just being it's kind of not going anywhere. It's just kind of like a miss, like, oh, it's gone, it's lost. Whereas I'm focusing it. Sometimes people think it's like at the back of the room and they try to ping the sound there. So just have a go with that. And by the way, stand up when you do this. Now some ways, because if we speak normally without sounding airy and breathy, naturally we will be able to sing without sounding airy and breathy. So let's use some calling out phrases such as, oh no, uh-oh, no way. You have to really exaggerate this. It's going to be embarrassing to do, but you have to do it, yeah. Just go by yourself somewhere and think like, oh, you're talking to a little kid and they've dropped their toilet. Uh-oh, oh no, and you're going to really, that's basically singing, like, uh-oh, that's 2 notes right there. Uh-oh, oh no, but I'm not going, uh-oh, oh no. That was really exaggerated, but you know what I mean. By the way, this is mainly intended to girls. I notice girls do it, and I used to as well, do it a lot more. I'm sure guys can learn from this though, but I'm sorry that it's not as relatable to you because I'm not a man. So by practicing the oh no, uh-oh, for example, John is a oh, so let's use uh-oh, 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 John, uh-oh, uh-oh. I don't know, you gotta keep doing. Uh-oh, John, so keep practicing the transition basically from the speaking those exaggerated phrases into trying to sing them just clear without putting the airy thing on. Now there's only so much I can teach, that's all I can say. The rest is you practicing it on your own. Make sure you're standing up when you do this exercise. What else is in my notes? So one thing, especially for the girls, that happens with this is sometimes people think, oh, like when we try to sing a bit girly, like pretty, and people put the airy thing on because it sounds like soft and like cute, I guess. And like I said, it's not a bad thing, but you also have to be able to do the clear focus sound. But some people really hesitate because, oh, it doesn't sound pretty or girly enough. For example, my speaking voice is quite low set, if you can't tell. So if I take this note, this note, and I sing strong, people are going to be like, she's got a voice of an angel, obviously. But people might be inclined to go, to be sweet and stuff. But basically try to put that aside and really exaggerate, especially when you're by yourself, because you might be too embarrassed to do it when we're at choir practice and there's other people around you. So just really try to you need to get fake, unearned confidence. You literally fake it till you make it. And try to just do a bold, straight, without especially relaxing. So the reason I put this video last is because it's not an isolated factor. You also have to have the right vowel sound, you have to open your mouth, the right breathing techniques, everything kind of ties in together. That's why I put this one last, kind of to tie, it's like the last thing now. So you can't just do it. You have to apply the other things that we've already learnt. For example, word, my mouth is a nice open. I'm not opening like, I'm taking the proper breath support and things like that. Again, you should be standing up doing this. Ah, John saw a city that could not be hid. Another example, let's use another song. I will follow thee, my Saviour. I will follow. That was a wrong note. I will follow thee, my Saviour, wheresoe'er my lot may be. I think I took this too low. I will follow thee, my Saviour, wheresoe'er my lot may be. So by no means am I a professional. I'm also still learning. And oftentimes I have to remind myself of the same thing, especially when you get tired or you're kind of not focusing, you're a bit disinterested in what you're singing. Like in a choir setting, if I'm just holding like a ah, and there's someone else doing the melody and I'm just kind of holding the support, I often find myself going just like, I'm not thinking, my mouth is not open, I'm like, and I turn to the airy, soft, and I lose a lot of resonance, and then I remind myself, no, I have to go back. So I'm like, and really, like your whole body is engaged in this, and you have a relaxed jaw. I also notice this happens when girls are a bit nervous or not confident with the note, the singing. They're like, oh, is it this one? Like, so they're very airy, they're very tense in here, like clenching their teeth tight in the throat, and mouth is opening this way, and they lose the focus and sounds breathy. So literally fake confidence. That's what our choir director tells us. I mean, my Monash tells us all the time, like, pretend you're like some professional, like, you know, unearned confidence, someone that's super obnoxious. So that's all I can kind of tell you. Keep doing, especially the transition between no way, and transitioning that into the song, into the note. And yeah, just do your best, please. Don't be afraid. I'd rather you do it at home and exaggerate it so you're not embarrassed, and then when you come back to it to do it with other people, it won't be as daunting. But yes, I hope this was helpful, and I think I'm actually going to see you guys pretty soon. So thank you for learning.